So here you can see above the lake is a little pond. And at the back of the pond is a deer sitting there. It's a little ceramic thing that I purchased years and years ago. Now, in the meantime, I have already made the river and the waterfall. But at this point here, I'm going to actually add a waterfall right here. And I'm going to paint this a little bit darker to match the lake. And then I'm going to make a waterfall that comes from this little pond here into the lake. And I'll show you how that's done. In order to make the waterfall from the little pond at the back of the lake to the lake, I need to estimate what size of the waterfall I need. I need about, it's a little rectangle, about that size to that size. I could become very technical and get my tape measure out, but I'm going to eyeball it. And the product that I'm using is called Woodland Scenics Water Effects. Now, I purchased this bottle quite some years ago. I've probably made about 5 or 6 waterfall with it since, and it's still working. And if it seems to be a little bit clogged up, you simply get a skewer and unclog it. And then it works again. And you draw the little rectangular out on your plate. Now, that doesn't appear to be much, does it? Just a glob of product there on the plate. You take a skewer or a toothpick and you draw through the material. The size is not really super important. You can always adjust it once it's dry to fit the spot, but it is good to have it even. So not too thin on this side or thick on that side. And that's what it looks like. Now this needs to dry for 24 hours. It's a long wait. So these things are good to plan ahead. But on the other hand, it's very flexible as to when you can put them on. I mean, if it's the very last thing you do on your diorama, then that's good. And that is the way I'm going to leave it. Doesn't look like much, but by tomorrow this will be clear and it will be like a resin patch. That's all it will be. It'll be dry and you'll just be able to peel it off the saucer and glue it onto the little pond. It might be a little large. You can also trim it up afterwards with a pair of scissors. Now I plan to repaint the little pond because it's such an odd color compared to the lake. And I don't want it to look that much different. So I'll just begin by mixing up a little bit of paint together, a white, a dab of blue, and a tiny dab of green. Now it's approximately the same color as the lake. And you're going to actually dry brush it on and don't want to put too much paint on that little pond. Still not quite the right color. But once the waterfall is on, I think it'll look better. Now I'm going to dry brush a few more lines on the water. You see at the bottom of the waterfall here, I have these lines indicating a bit of froth. I'm going to do the same thing here. Looks like turbulent water, doesn't it? It's too bad that blue's not dry. I would do a few little white streaks here on the blue, but it's still wet, so it's not a good idea to do that while it's wet.